I think it's time, people, for probably the best section of the show today, because what we're about to talk about. Liverpool, Trent, Real Madrid. We've got
anything happened this week? I haven't seen anything this week.
Listen.
No, me neither, mate.
Quiet one.
This has been a hot topic for the last 2 days. I've seen Liverpool fans absolutely melt down from
burning
shirts, sending abuse. I don't know, texting his girlfriend. I'm not surprised if they did that, if he does have a girlfriend or not. But listen, the Scousers, civil war. I'm seeing Hossam say one thing. I'm seeing AGT say another. I see everyone got these different opinions, but we don't care about that because they're not on the terrace right now. You know what I'm saying? We care about Tom Little. Tom Little, listen, bro, you haven't been on the show since the news broke out, yeah? Why are you mad? Why are you so mad? Because you've been going off in the group chats. You've been seeing madness on other channels. You was even on the show, not on the show, you was in the comments of the last show saying, are we talking about the snake? Why are you vexed, Tom? I want to know. Tell me.
Because he's a snake. Because he's tried to do everything in a crap, deceitful manner. At the end of the day, I think the way he's gone about this is completely wrong. I have an issue with the fact that, you know, you're a Liverpool fan. You grew up in the city. You live in the dream of every single Scouser. And it's an unfair pressure to have. You didn't ask for it, but it's been put on your shoulders, this pressure. But I struggle to see how for a Scouser playing for Liverpool, and this Liverpool team in particular, a Liverpool team that is challenging for and winning league titles, challenging for Champions Leagues, challenging for all the top honours, you think there's something better than that? You think there's something, you know, a higher point than that there shouldn't be, and then you go on the way that he's handled the situation. The man hasn't done an interview. He's my vice captain, by the way, my vice captain, and he hasn't done a single interview since Jurgen Klopp was the manager. Bar one interview on Sky Sports where all he done in it was go, I don't want to achieve anything else for Liverpool. I want to win a Ballon d'Or.
Tom, can I ask you something?
Mm-hmm.
Do you blame him after winning a second league title and all those major honours for joining Real Madrid? Forget the fact that he's Scouse. Yep. Why is it? Because he's academy guy?
Because being Scouse is a big part of that. You're a Liverpool fan who said for years, and this is the wonderful thing about Twitter, it's brought me all the evidence I needed. Up until 2 years ago, the man's biggest dream was to stay at Liverpool for his entire career.
So do you feel that way against McManaman as well?
Yeah. Same way I feel about Trent. I felt I didn't feel about it because I wasn't born, but everyone else felt the same way about McManaman. The feeling around McManaman is the same as the feeling around Trent, if not a little bit worse for Trent, because there was at least an understanding that McManaman's team was shit and this Liverpool team is not.
He as far as you're concerned, he's finished. He's not.
Oh yeah, he's not. Glenn Johnson's got a bigger Liverpool legacy.
Tom.
Oh.
Tom. Wait, did I just hit?
He did.
Say that again.
At the end of the day, I look back more fondly at Glenn Johnson's time at the football club at the minute.
Okay, this is I know you're smoking. Listen, Tom, I got a question. Okay, so I know he said his dream is to stay at Liverpool for the rest of his life. Was that when he was like 21, 22? How old was he when he said that?
He was 23, I think.
23, okay.
23 or 24.
Okay.
It was recent. It was like a year. It was like 2 years ago.
Recent years, finally. That's fair enough. But why can't a man's dream change? You know what I mean? Why can't it change? Why do it have to stay the same? Because I wanted to be a flipping film director and winning Oscars. I don't want to be that anymore. You know, I do this now. I enjoy what I do now. Do I expect my film friends to now hate me because now I'm like, you know what, you pivoted to somewhere else, so screw you? Like, why can't his dream change? Why can't he be like, actually, everything I thought would take a whole career to achieve at Liverpool, I've done. And now I feel like, actually, there's something a bit more that I want for myself.
I mean, look, I personally just can't see that point of view. Being a Scouser from the city who's a Liverpool fan, it would never happen to me. But I've never been in the position, so we'll ignore that point. Even if it was, there's ways and means to go about it. Don't have your agent lead the football club on for 2 summers and 2 seasons with your contract when in reality you've been talking behind the back to sort this Real Madrid move out. 2 years he's been he's been going behind the club's back. No talk. All he said was, I'm not going to let this be played out in public. And I've heard more about his situation and his contract than any of the others all season.
If he was joining another team in England,
I'll be 10 times worse.
I could understand it because I would have had the same with Harry Kane. But what I will say is,
Harry Kane would have got you 100 million quid.
No, he got us £100 million, but he's still an academy player. He's still a local. He's not from a million miles away. The situation I can't get my head around is he's won apps. I know he's Scouse. I know he's a local boy, but he's won everything. He's at a point now. He's going to leave a legacy there of 2 league titles, a Champions League, Super Cup, Club World Cup, 2 league cups, and an FA Cup. He's going. It's not like it's not like he's going to be against you twice a season. He's going. Well, he probably will now at Real Madrid, but he's going to Madrid where, like,
I didn't realise the Copa del Rey was this big a trophy for English right backs.
No, Henry, I don't think it's got nothing to do with the honours. I don't think Liverpool fans are upset about that. I think it's more of the way.
Bro, there is no way that he did it.
What
do you want him to do a year ago?
There's no issue. There's no issue. Like the fact that Liverpool as a football club are so incompetent that they allow their 3 best players for years to not sign new deals and then not force them out, and then now you want to cry that he's leaving for free. That's your club's fault.
If he planned it since he had 2 years left on his contract, there's nothing we could have done.
No. Okay, well, you could have did what Chelsea did with Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher wanted to leave for free. They told him to fuck off. He was training like with the under 6-year-olds. They had him baby.
But Trent never told us. Trent never told the club.
Okay. What's Tom?
Hold on. KJ, Tom. If you're texting a girl and if you want to take her out like on a date and she's texting you back super slow, giving you 1-word answers, answering you 3 days later, does she need to tell you that she's not interested? No, she doesn't.
I didn't realize that was how contract negotiations went, to be fair.
Well, yes, because if you've been negotiating for 2 years, when you get down to 12 months, you tell Trent, brother, you signed the deal this summer or you have to leave. There is no, hopefully he signs in April or maybe he signs in March. It's a business, right? So Liverpool, right, you have to, and again, right, I understand why you're upset. I think that you're right to be upset, but I think that your anger is misdirected. It needs to be at the board. And then to even add on to that, we offered you $30 million in January. So the fact that you're leaving for free, that's your club's fault. It's not on Trent to get you a fee. Either way, Trent was in a lose-lose situation because imagine if he would have requested a transfer last summer. You'd still be here upset calling him a rat. He leaves for free. You're upset calling him a rat. People want to complain about not getting any money. They're upset. You could have sold him in January. Liverpool said no.
Why would I sell him in January when I'm challenging for a fucking
lose him
league
for
title?
free and then be okay with it.
No, why would I be okay with the fact that he's been deceitful to the football club?
Tom, how is he being deceitful? If he's not
for 2 years, he's been talking behind the club's back.
Bro, but actions speak louder than words. If he's not putting pen to paper, you have to force him out. That is your club's fault.
So if Salah,
give him the benefit of the doubt,
why would my club force him out when he hasn't given me concrete evidence that he wants to leave? He is the best right back on the planet. I don't want to let him go. I want to try and get him a new deal.
Not signing a new deal.
But then you need
Will, you've got to understand that. You have to understand the context. We could have tried to get this deal done, but there were situations at the football club which meant there was no contracts getting sorted, i.e., Jurgen Klopp announced he was fucking going. No agent in their right mind.
That was just last season. What about the year before that? There were no talks.
Right. Okay. So the year before that was 1 year after his last extension. He signed a 4-year extension by design.
Okay.
Everyone else got 5 years. We gave Jordan Henderson at 31 years of age, a 5-year contract extension. Do you think we didn't want to give Trent Alexander-Arnold at that time a 5-year or a 6-year contract extension? We did, but by design, he asked for a 4-year deal, and as it ended up, the point where we would be going into contract negotiations with him to start up a new deal, Jurgen Klopp announced he was going, and no agents in their right mind is going to sit there and have their client negotiate a new deal when there's so much uncertainty around the football club. But the fact of the matter is, there has been stuff he's been going behind our back for 2 years, negotiating a deal with Real Madrid, and it's been deceitfully wished to sneak out the back door.
All right, wait, Tom. So then if we know that, right? If you know that, then how don't the club know that to then say, yo, you have to leave now because we can't afford to lose you for free? It's bad business. Yeah, the fact that you're saying about how he was negotiating with Real Madrid, then certainly the club would know this.
But we didn't know. That only came out recently.
Last March, Fabrizio tweeted that we want him. That was last March.
We want players all the time. Doesn't mean we go talk to them behind the club's back. There's a difference.
All right.
I mean, when you got 1 year left in your contract and it's March time of the season before that, I'm pretty sure you're gonna know they're gonna be talking to the player. But the question before